Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Johnson Salabi. This is JV Trending News. I will be giving you updates about what is happening in the newspapers, and I mean in the Nigeria, and perhaps we'll get to know a few things, maybe what's happening in business and the world. But let's go to this news. Today's 10th day. You can see the date here and the update. Blackout as national grid collapses. Last year, 12 times there was national blackout, meaning that there was massive national blackout. There was no light in all over the state in 2024. This year now, we are seeing again it's happening, and then they said that they are borrowing money. There's no more first subsidy removal, but still, this incident is happening every now and then. It's so sad development, and it's not a good sign that this APC government is doing anything to make sure the country is getting better. So you can see there that it's collapsed from 3,000 megawatts to 1,500, and then according to the AEDC, Abuja Electricity Distributors Company, and they are saying that because of there's a cut supply from the source, and that means they could not. It's going to affect the whole nation. Now I don't have light in where I stay, and then I've not been using light. I depend not with the Nigeria light now. I have more solar that I be using managing at home, but you can see that other people that don't have any means to run their businesses now they will go and get fuel, and then the cost of running business is becoming higher and higher every day. It's not only about today alone. It's about what the government is doing concerning the development of the country. This is not a country. This is not an issue. This is not happening in a place where Tinubu is currently enjoying himself, enjoying his 10 days, 10 working days holiday or leave in France, in UK. This is not. It doesn't happen every now and then. I don't know how he's sleeping in that kind of enjoyment he's having there. But let's forget about that. Let's move on to the next one. This one is NUPENG suspends strike as Dangote accept unions' demands. Now they are saying that they are having discussions about how they will resolve the issues. A lot of promises or the kind of agreement that there will be no this extra unions creation, that there will be nothing like more additional union regarding to tank distribution of fuel. Now, this is more of like the marketers are also saying where they're going to be also benefiting, and now the Ministry of Labour has made it clear that they should not inform them in a week about how they conclude and what's the way forwards that will make the country, the consumers to enjoy the fuel and also have it available and at an affordable price. So let's look at the next one. Presidency defends rising debt, says borrowing veto for Nigeria's growth. On Sunday or thereabout, Dean Umuleye made it clear and really lambasted Tinubu's government and the Tinubus that he has become a borrower, that even very soon he will go to OPay and Money Point to borrow, to request for loan, meaning that it is very, very dangerous to the economy, according to it. But now, the presidency, meaning that those who are working for Tinubu's in the National Villa, came outside and said, no, it's good for the development. The borrowing as in development is because of the Naira depreciations. Now, you want to ask yourself, who caused this Naira depreciation? They don't even know that this is more of like insult to themselves that the value of our currency is depreciating, and they're not accusing, they're not using that one as the reason for the rise in the national property debt, meaning that our currency is close to 150 trillion naira. And in another news headlines reviews, we are going to see what someone Alaje talked about the risk and dangers of this rising debt. Now, FG Tinubu's Shea export ban. We unlock rural economy, spur jobs, and global leadership. Now, when you say this kind of news now, it is more of like, yes, they are just assured that banning the shea butter is just for the growth, for the development of the country, and then they forget that they could not talk about crude oil. Banning the exportation of crude oil. Let us ensure that we promote our local refinery here, and let us see that we don't import our own fuel again from abroad. that is not, they don't talk about that, but they talk about shea butter. Perhaps because there's one industry that is opened, another industry or factory, let's use the word factory, that they already have, it's been launched in one of the states in Nigeria. So that means it's just likely, it's not really about rural area, rural development, or those who encourage those who are in local rural area, but it's about selfish interests of those who are in power and those who are related and having kind of spawns with the government. They eat with government. So at the end of the day, it's not really about even local farmers, because at the end of the day, the price of these things is not going to favor those who are into it, those who are producing these crops that shea butters that Tinubu ban. Let's look at the next one. This is going to be the second to the last to the news. So, Wike slams 5 million fine on Abuja property owners over unauthorized conversions, others fresh titles. Now, if you have a house in Sasokoro, Wuse 2, and Gariki 1, Area 1 or 2, these are the areas that he mentioned about that. Those who have converted from the residential to commercial, they should ensure that they meet the FCDA, meaning that those who are into the approval for the land use. If the land use is to live in and you are renting it out as for commercial purposes, so that means you are going to be paying 5 million fine, and then you are going to lose. Perhaps there are other penalties that he may mention of. And again, those who are victims of Abdullahi Gaduje, former chairman of FAPC, and also another ex-Osun State other politician, and also NNPC too, also is culpable and found guilty of this. And he mentioned about that. But the question is this: we know that this is just to target other people, meaning that I believe that 5 million is from the money that for the government's money. That's why they will use it. It's not from the money they work. How did they get to occupy all those places? The politicians are just the ones that just taking over the country. Let's move on to the next one because of time. This is the last one. Paul Alaje, we are clearly on the brink as Nigeria's debt nears down dangerous threshold. Talking about threshold, this is the threshold. If something is moving, and it's close to this point where it's going to be at the end of the tunnel, and that tunnel is going to be danger, meaning that there are lions, there are snakes that can bite you because you are like a debt. If you are like a debt, that danger is very high. Now, let's look at it now. If by 2027 it projected that it's going to be 200 trillion debt, meaning that Nigeria will be owing up to 200 trillion, because at the rate at which Tinubu is borrowing up or down, it doesn't show that Nigeria is going to exist in terms of we are going to still be having something, because I know the debt start saying we reach up to 90% by then, meaning that our total revenue, will be using 90% to be paying debt. Which kind of wisdom is that? Which kind of leadership is that? Which kind of incompetence is that? I don't know how long I'm going to suffer this current government, because the value of Naira was 500 when Tinubu came in, and now it's 1,500, meaning that 300% depreciation has affected everything. This time I can go today. I got rest. Tomorrow I will come back again. I'll share with you newspaper reviews, and then maybe also highlight some issues around you that can help you in whatever you're doing. Thanks so much for watching. See you some other time.